Every king needs his crown, and every saint was once a sinner. But I'ma keep doing what God called me to do. And so today, they crown me king. Let's go.
They said I wouldn't make it, and every goal that I hit, they try and take it from me. But God still by my side, it's in Him that I rely. So who should I be?
Big shout out to everybody listening, tuned in to QSJRadio.com, home to the unsigned artists. And today's QSJ MadLuh, we are digging up the underground. There are artists who make music because they want to be heard. And then there's artists who seem to use music as a way to understand themselves. Today's guest has spent years somewhere in between those two worlds. His story starts in Fort Worth, Texas, with church music, family, and a young artist who didn't initially see himself as an artist at all. Over the years, the path has taken him through hip-hop, live performances, personal storytelling, faith, loss, independence, and a growing catalog that continues to evolve. From albums and EPs like RPG, Repent, Progress, and Growth, to 4700, Uncrowned King, Care Package, and now Take 'Em to Church. JDiggs Tha Prodigy has continued asking what happens when you take everything you've lived through and turn it into music. And perhaps just importantly, what happens when you refuse to stop growing. This is QSJ Radio. We're digging into the underground to uncover the independent artists, creative voices, and the stories that shape the music you don't hear anywhere else. JDiggs, welcome to QSJ Radio.
I think maybe only one other person that I've done an interview with mentioned 4700. People are real quick to go through the albums, but the EPs and the smaller projects like 4700 typically get overlooked.
Bro, I'm not even... look, let me tell you something. I apologize that you have to deal with people like that. Okay. But, people are just like really quick to throw content out there. So, in the way of understanding, and I think that you understand more, is that they're just trying to get this out. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the fuck they doing. Excuse my language. I'm gonna hit you with the excuse my language a few times.
No, you good.
I'm super excited to have you on here, and it's not because, whatever. It's because there's a lot of things I was going through in the behind the scenes. I gave you such a brief, and you don't have to do it, but you went straight into the mode that you are, and you started praying for us and the family, and I appreciated that so much because it was not a shocker, but it's still, sad. So I do appreciate that you went in and just went into your mode. It's like the artist thing went right out the window real quick as soon as there was like some sense of understanding. So I appreciate that.
No, man, I get it. Life is the one thing that's always going to happen, regardless of if you want it to happen or not. I've been there. I know things like that happen unexpectedly because there's really no way to plan something like that. And when I quit trying to force things to happen, that's when things started happening. So when stuff like that comes up, I know a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't know how so-and-so is going to react when I tell them this. And I'm just like, hey, man, take care of yourself, your family, your people first. Take care of your life before you deal with anything that has anything to do with mine. Because I'm going to put my life before I put anybody else's stuff. So I get it. We all human.
Now, let's get into the interview. I want to appreciate that, let people understand that, this is just not somebody hitting me up. This is somebody that really is living life and sharing it through the music for those who probably wouldn't understand who you are anyway, right? So it's like, I'm gonna just put it in a song. You want to know about me? Go through my albums. We good.
Absolutely.
So if you talked before about growing up around church, music, being exposed to like Kirk Franklin rehearsals through your aunt before you really understood what you were witnessing. Looking back now, do you think that that environment quietly trained you for the artist you've eventually became? Because I've been doing some music listening of yours, and you did not start with the Holy Ghost, okay?
No, I did not.
Especially like when it comes to performances, emotion, and connecting. Do you think those exposures to those kind of Kirk Franklin rehearsals got you to where you are here?
It definitely did, because growing up in the church and going to rehearsals and stuff like that, anybody who knows Kirk and his music knows that he was taking gospel music in a direction that a lot of people didn't agree with. But that direction he took it in is what kind of drew people in my age group to the music, because it sounded like the music that we were listening to outside of church, but it had the deeper message to it. And then being able to be there during the rehearsals and the creation of music and stuff like that. Like, I mean, obviously the music was getting created before I was ever even around. My aunt tells me stories about when he used to go to my grandma's house and play the piano at their house to figure out melodies, because he just had to get them out of his head. And he was the reason my grandma ultimately got rid of the piano in her house, because she was like, I can't have him in my house playing the piano at 4 a.m. But being around that style of music, although I didn't start out doing gospel music or doing Christian hip hop or anything like that, there was always something inside of me that wanted to enjoy live performances more than I enjoyed being in the studio
Yeah.
or things like that. And then just throughout the many years that I've been doing this, live performances is where I've felt the most at home, on stage with the mic in my hand and things of that nature. And then now being able to perform with a live band has
Yeah. That
taking
is,
me back to those roots, because when you grow up in church, it's all live music. There's not a DJ in the church.
yeah.
There's not a beat machine or anything like that. Like, you got your drums, your keyboard, your organ, guitar, all of that stuff. And
And
like, I
some
know,
IT that doesn't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, you got somebody beating the heck out of a tambourine. And it was just crazy, because the church that I grew up in, it wasn't a mega church or anything, but it was a really large church here in Fort Worth. And like, they would do musicals and stuff like that, and it'd be hundreds of people in the choir. They'd bring in the horns players and stuff like that, and
you
the
know,
crowd would be packed. And I'm just like, I'm looking around at this. And then when I got old enough to be in the choir, like, I'm seeing it from the choir stand, I'm like, this is amazing, just the energy you felt with the
that's
music and the
insane.
way music moved people.
Yeah.
So it's always been in me, and it's always been part of my upbringing and things like that. But it wasn't until my adult life that I really started trying to uh get my own message out there by way of the music. And to the point that you made, you can see, as my life has transitioned, my music has transitioned. And it's always kind of been like my open diary to the world, like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what's going on with me, but I want you guys to hear it too, because it's always going to reach somebody at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking with JDiggs The Prodigy. Is you guys to look it up just like that, because there is a JDiggs artist.
Yes,
You know, it's all good, it's all love at the end of the day. But
absolutely.
is a reason behind letting people know the whole name. Now we're talking about moments and things. You've seen these things, and obviously you went ahead and did your whole life. And I want to know, and this might seem a cliche little thing, but was there a moment where you was like, you went from being simply around music to realizing, I think this is something I actually can do?
Yeah, for me, it was I was doing club promoting back in like 2008,
Club
2009, and
promoting.
what. Yeah.
Yo.
Nah,
No,
and
listen, I got
it's hard to
exposed to that
believe.
life. I got exposed to that life. So
Yeah,
I know
you know exactly what I was dealing
it's
with.
just like a breaking even life. Is street team. Is a consistent marketing thing that
Yep.
everybody's just either knows what they're doing or don't know what they're doing. Good and
Yeah.
bad
And
days.
it was all hand to hand too, because back then we didn't have social media. We had some social networks like MySpace and
Yeah.
Facebook was in its early days, stuff like that. But we were really out here on the college campuses handing out flyers and walking through the mall handing out flyers and stuff like that. And it was crazy, because my best friend Ali, he got me into doing that, because I am not a huge people person. Like, I am
Yo.
an introvert to the core. But like, between him and my job, and of course doing music, I've had to develop some extroverted abilities and being able to do stuff like that. So while I was doing the club promoting, I met a guy by the name of Sam Garcia. He went by Sammy G, and he was doing music at the time. We got real cool, obviously, from hanging out in the clubs and then hanging out outside of what we were doing with the clubs. And he invited me to a studio session one time. So I was like, all right, bet. Like, where's the studio at? And he was like, oh, it's in Mesquite. Well, if anybody knows anything about Dallas Fort Worth, you got Fort Worth on this side, Mesquite on this side.
Oh
So I'm
no.
driving literally across the
Across
entire
town?
Metroplex to get there.
Oh no.
And I got there and I had been like freestyling and stuff at parties, you know, drinking or whatever. Everybody wants to be a rapper when they drinking because they think anybody can do it. And he knew that because I would do it at the club. And one time we were in there, we were waiting for the studio session and we got there early and he was like, you should get in the booth and rap something. I was like, nah, bro, like I don't rap. I'm not a rapper. He's like, nah, I've heard you. You say some pretty clever stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. So I got in there, and at the time I was real obsessed with this song called Uptown by Drake, Bun B, and Lil Wayne.
Oh,
That was one of my
those are like light skinned Drake days. Those are
yeah.
yeah. Na, na,
Yeah,
na,
but
na,
that
na,
that
na.
was back when he had something to prove too. So like,
Yeah, definitely.
and growing up in Texas, I had listened to a whole lot of Bun B. Obviously, Wayne was dominating everything at that
Yeah.
part. Drake was barely coming around, but he's got these two artists on there that I know and listen to a lot. So I'm like, okay, cool. The beat had the organ in it, and looking back on it, just the organ itself took me back to my church ties and stuff like that. So I had a couple little random lines that I had written out or whatever, and I just kind of went in there and freestyled some extra stuff. And you know, the engineer went in there, made me sound like a rapper, did all the special stuff and stuff that you do, and I heard it, and I was like, that's dope. And then like I let my dad hear it, and I didn't tell him it was me. I just let him hear it, and he was like, that's pretty fly. Like who is that? I was like, that's me. He was like, no, it's not. I was like, yeah. He was like, you might can do that. He's like, you ever thought about
Wow.
writing a Christian rap? I was like, I didn't even think
Wow.
about writing that one.
I go,
So
he,
he
told,
went jumping
he,
straight
told,
into doing
he
the
went
Christian
right
rap,
to the
and
Lord. He went
yeah, he
right to
went
him.
straight to it.
Oh
So
man. You
yeah,
know,
so Sam got me in there,
yeah, yeah. I
and
wanted to talk about Sam Garcia. You
yeah,
know, um, very, very special person to you. Introduced you to basically this and realizing your writing skills, your lyrics, took you to your first studio session. And then you had basically this close relationship for 6 months, you
yeah,
know, and Sammy G, no longer with us,
mm-mm,
right? And it's nuts because it's always brought up. You always bring it up. It's like, yeah, I can't do this without saying this, right?
yeah.
And when you think about the artist you are today, like how much of Sammy G is still present in the way you approach music?
I would say most of what I learned from him that I still use today comes in the recording process. Um, it was crazy because when we went to the studio, a lot of times it's a bunch of people in there. Everybody's, you know, doing whatever they do, their vice of choice while in the studio, whatever's allowed or whatever. But like he was in there, and like obviously you pay for studio time, so a lot of people are like, I'm about business, and he was about business, but he knew how to have a good time doing it. And one thing that he used to always do in the studio that I catch myself doing, especially this is why I like to record from the house, is record in the dark. There's no distractions. I have no lights on. The only light in the room when I'm recording is coming off my screen and off my phone when I'm reading, and that's it. And it's
Bro,
like you zone out, and all it is just you and the music.
that's some
And that's
serious
how
tunnel
that's how I
vision.
prefer yeah.
That is some
Because
serious.
there's fewer distractions that way.
Yeah.
Like I won't even have my ring lights on. All I got is the mic, my lyrics on my phone, and then I got Pro Tools or whatever pulled up on the screen, and we just go. And I do go to studios to record with other people because again, this is my house. I don't want to bring too many random people in my
Yeah,
house
yeah,
around my
yeah.
kids and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
2020
like I'll
taught
go
us
to
well.
Session Works. Yeah. I'll go to Session Works, I go to Music and Focus and stuff like that, and get some work in. But if it's just me working on my stuff, like I just started a new project last night, I'm recording from the house because I can also take as long as I want. I can do as many takes as I want. Nobody's telling me, hey, they're not tapping their wrist like, hey, you only paid for 2 hours, you only
Yeah.
paid for 3 hours. Like
Yeah.
I can be in here as long as I want. But that was something that he did. And unfortunately, the night he passed, he was at the studio. And it was a
Wow.
session that he had invited me to, but I had just gotten off work. He was already heading out there. I was like, dude, I got to go home and change, kind of wind down from the work day. It's going to take me at least an hour and a half to get out there. Just let me know where y'all are going after, and I'll meet y'all there. Well, we know the story. Sadly, there was no after. And it was just a snowball of things that kind of happened because I almost stopped doing music because I'm like, man, the guy that's teaching me and helping me like learn how to do this is gone. Like, what am I supposed to do? But I couldn't stop. Like there have been multiple times where throughout my entire musical journey where I tell myself, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna do it no more. Nothing's coming from it. And I'll be like, all right, but before I go out, I want to do one more thing. And that one more thing turns into another 2, 3, 4, 5 years of doing it. So at this point, I can't stop.
Yeah. It's in you.
Something ain't letting me stop. It's in me between the God-given skills, Sam looking out for me. Like, yeah, no, I still have, it's in my safe. I still have this chain that he gave me. It was stainless steel. It was back before we could afford actual silver, gold, platinum, and diamonds and stuff
Shout out
like
to
that.
the
It was just
stainless steel life.
steel
Don't knock
piece.
it.
Yeah, I'm not knocking
Yeah.
it, bro. I had 2 of them, man. I still had that piece. Occasionally I pull it out the safe and I'll wear it around the house or something, but like I don't want to risk like being out somewhere and it get messed up or something like that. So I keep that one safe and near and dear to my heart. But yeah, man, that was really him getting me started, him kind of inadvertently showing me the ropes and how to conduct myself in the studio and whatnot has really shaped how I do music and how I handle the business in it.
So, I think we talked behind the scenes about something, and I had to tell my mom to say something. Now, I gotta know this too. Is there something that you wish you could tell him about where that first studio session eventually led you?
Yeah, like I know they say peer pressure is like growing up, they're just like, oh, peer pressure, don't let it get you. I would definitely tell him thank you for peer pressuring me into actually doing it. Because had I not gotten the opportunity to hear what I sound like on a record, now granted, I don't sound like I sounded then. I talked in another interview about how I had this rapper voice that I was doing, and another engineer later on down the line sat me down and was like, stop doing that. But like if he wasn't so like, hey man, we got time, just go in there and do it, bro. Like nobody's gonna hear it but us. The peer pressure, but it wasn't like he was trying to get me to do something illegal or do something bad. He was just like, he clearly he saw it in me. And so I never really fully got a chance to thank him for that. But I know, he's looking down and he sees what I'm doing and what I've achieved just from that little nudge of, hey, get in the booth and just do it.
I'm gonna take a little break real quick because we're talking about all these songs and stuff like that. So a lot of gamers will probably take this acronym the wrong way, right? RPG, right? So we got to go a little bit back in time real quick because I need people to understand that this guy does not just do the Jesus stuff, okay? He has a life, okay? Not saying people that just do that don't have lives, but you have to. I feel like that is probably one of the main requirements for people to any preaching is that you have to be put in your position of, kind of like almost to the down or pick yourself before, whatever. But this is not what we're talking about. So you got a song here, Can We Talk? Repent through the, I'm telling you, right? Like repent, progress, and growth is available all over the place. Streaming platforms all over the place.
Yes, sir.
Want to go and check that out. And for us, we're going to take a little break. I want to reintroduce Can We Talk by JDiggs Tha Prodigy on QSJ Radio.
So baby, can we talk? Can we talk for a minute? Let me know. I listen, girl, don't put me out, cause we winning. Baby, let me know. Can we talk?
rock, baby, can I get a name? Gotta say your picture perfect just by looking at your frame. When you give me your number, I promise I'ma do the same. It's a shame you're alone, so glad that you came. Cause right now we in a place to be. And when it's over, just know that you can leave with me. Anything that you want, I get it easily. I'm the man in my city, baby, please
With
believe.
that one, like I grew up listening to Tevin Campbell. Obviously, like, I mean, the dude is from the Metroplex, or he lives here, and that was always one of my favorite songs by him. And I kind of just wanted to flip it in a way that would be as true to how the original song was, but give it the JDiggs feel. So being able to go to a producer with the idea, a producer who could actually play out, just take my words and my ideas and make them into what you guys hear in that song, and then being able to get just the singing and the emotion behind the singing, and then just the way that I came in on the rap, I was still trying out something new with the way I delivered the verses, and I was trying to be like, I mean, fellas, y'all know you in the club, you trying to be real smooth. Like, yo,
Yeah.
can we talk? Can I get your name? Gotta say your picture perfect just by looking at your frame.
Mm.
Like, it's not overly rappy, but there's still the double entendres in there that you're just like, oh, picture perfect, picture frame. Like, oh, I can't believe. Like, sometimes I go back and listen to some of that, and I'm just like, I said that. I can't believe I said that. And but that song there, that one, I actually sat on that one. That was probably
Wow.
one of the first songs on that project that was completed, other than like voicemail. But I didn't know what I was gonna do with that song.
Wow.
And when it came time for me to put together a project, because this was one of those situations where I was like, all right, this is my last one. I got to do this on the way out,
Yeah.
which is why that project was as long as it was, 13 tracks. And I was just like, all right, cool. I'm done. I'm gonna check some boxes. I'm gonna hit some songs that I loved when I was a kid. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna give everybody a whole bunch of different stuff on this project and still make it cohesive. And I'm done. And then I put the project out, and it was received so well, and people were like, all right, what's next? And I was like, nah, there is no next. I'm done. And they were like,
Yeah. Wow.
nah, you can't be done. You got to do another one. So I was like, yeah. And here I am, still going.
Shout out to RPG. It's available for all streaming platforms again. That's Spotify, YouTube, everything is on Apple Music and everything.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure you guys go check them out. Now, earlier he was like, "Yeah, I'm an introvert." I think he was holding up something. You wanted to show people.
Yeah,
For
I
those,
got if you go to the website, I got the introvert socks on the merch store. Socks, shorts, and t-shirts.
So you introvert, okay, you know what I mean? But we out here doing internationally known interviews, but whatever. Shout out to the introvert. You describe yourself as a quiet kid who wasn't particularly comfortable around new people. And I definitely get that right now. Yet today you're performing, doing interviews, working with live musicians, putting very personal material in front of strangers. That's a pretty significant transformation.
Yeah.
Did you actually become a different person, or did music simply give you a quieter version of you somewhere to speak?
I feel like music just gave me another version of myself, or it helped me become a newer and I would say better version of myself, because it's not necessarily that there was anything wrong with me before, but there are a lot of opportunities in life that had I not been pushed to be a bit more extroverted in my activities and things like that, I would not have been able to be afforded those opportunities. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I need to be able to go home and recharge, or if I'm out of town or something like that, like, I'm not one of those that performs and leaves the venue immediately, but as soon as the show is over, I'm out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I ain't doing all that mingling.
no, I'm not doing like, I mingled during the show, in between the sets and things like that, but afterwards I really don't want to stand outside in the parking lot and talk. That's where it's issues. Like, J. Cole just dropped the song on his last project called Will We Survive the Let Out. you got to be careful with them let outs sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've unfortunately been in some situations where
Same.
some people didn't survive the let out.
Yeah.
And I told myself I never wanted to be in that situation. But going to the clubs and the bars and the events and stuff like that, it forced me to have to come out of my shell. And
Definitely.
but even if you see me at one of these places, like I usually got my back against the wall. I can see the exit. I'm more people watching and kind of
Yeah.
reading the room and stuff
Kind
like
of
that than anything.
paranoid, but being safe about it. Not really, you know.
Yeah, like I'm not suspecting something's gonna happen, but if something does, then at least I know I've given myself the best chance to get out of the situation, get away from the situation, whatever the case may be. But it's funny because like there'll be times where I'm in a place and I'm just in a corner, and people will just walk over and start talking to me, and I mean, I don't like, oh, shoo them away or anything. I'm gonna talk.
Yeah.
I've been in sales for the vast majority of my adult life and stuff like that, so I know how to talk to people as needed. But I feel like without me being the person that's just trying to be up in people's faces, it almost invites people to come to me and kind of open up. Like I've had people tell me their life stories at a show, and I've never seen them since. But they may have just needed to get that off.
Yeah.
And that's what music is for me. Sometimes I got stuff going on in my life and I need to be able to tell somebody about it, but I don't want to bother somebody else with my own life stuff because they got their life stuff going on. So I just put it in the music.
So, yo, and shout out to that being in the corner. I think people just want to make sure you ain't going, you the one that's not going crazy. So I'm just tell this dude right here, but I'm baby mama drama real quick, so we personalize each other. But
just so he know I'm good.
Listen,
I'm not doing nothing.
I totally get it with the whole going to these scenes because sometimes they are beneficial events, and they are things that as a club promoter, sometimes you inviting randoms. You are this is the most unorthodox things for an introvert to do, is to invite everybody, because there's money involved, right? There's money involved, and so you don't know who's coming into the building and things like that. And but I those safe tactics, I stay using them. Now for me it's like out to dinner, things like that, blah blah. I've been wanting to get back in the scene, but I remember one time I did something. I'm out here in 757 area, Virginia area. This is like where everybody's from, right? The Virginia people, right?
Yep.
Name the list, right? I say that right
it's a
now.
whole bunch of them.
I say that list now because somebody's a little sus right now, and I live really close. But anyways, I went to one of these scenes and I was just like, I haven't been there in forever, but I knew it was like this big anniversary show. They was tributing the artists that we knew and stuff like that. And I swear, like, I had no business being there, and I just didn't feel comfortable anymore. And so I was just like, yo, I'm gonna just say hi, show that I was there, and silently leave. Like I didn't even like say bye. I got things to do. I just left. It just didn't feel comfortable anymore. Where and I think it's more of the quiet is louder than people believe, right?
Yeah.
And because now it's like first time ever I'm in the area where I'm at the scene. I'm known. They know that this is the radio guy, right? So I'm known. I'm feeling mad comfortable. Everybody's knowing, coming up to me saying what's up. But it's just like, it's dizzy. I'm dizzy. And I'm just like, I can't do it. Like, I'm going to say what's up, congratulations on people's albums, and then I'm going to just dip. And then that's what happened, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
You previously described right now that your music is almost like a public journal, because you gotta let things out, and you're experiencing and turning them into songs that might help someone else, and realizing that they're not the only people going through something. This is not something that just is an assumption. This had to happen. Somebody had to tell you, yo, that song did something for me, or stuff like that. Or maybe that certain songs did something for you. What does that make songwriting therapeutic for you?
Absolutely. I've gotten text messages from people that I haven't talked to in a long time, and they'll be like, "Hey, man, my music was shuffling and such song came on, and I
Oof.
really needed to hear that." And like even my best friend, after he lost his grandmother and whatnot, he caught himself listening to 4700, which I dedicated that project to my grandmother who I had just lost. I literally released it a year after she passed. The album cover was her house, the title is the address. Like the whole first song on there is just about what
Is
I
her
had to deal with
social,
and going
no,
through.
let me stop.
And so it's like I had to do like I had to get that off, but I truly believe that music will always find people when they need it most, because one of the biggest things that I had to learn in doing music is just because people aren't listening to it right now doesn't mean that they'll never listen to it. And what's old to me is new to someone who hasn't heard it. So when people come up to me or when I get in situations where I'm doing interviews and things like that, to the point that I made earlier, 4700 doesn't get mentioned often, but people who aren't interviewing me bring it up because there's some real personal stuff in that. Like it goes from dealing with loss, dealing with just kind of life after that. And then like I even by the time you get to the last track, I'm kind of coming back into my own. I'm myself again. I'm refinding that hunger for the music. So, I'm rapping like I got something to prove all over again. It's almost like you get to experience that transition of, man, I'm hurt. I lost my grandma who was pretty much like my mom, and like it was a horrible situation, but with us being so close knit as a family and our trust in God, we knew that she was ready. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
may not have been ready for her to go, but we knew
yeah.
that she was
As
ready, and we learned a
yeah,
lot of things about that.
as I was
So
saying to you earlier, that's how I felt. I felt like
yeah,
because the fam was so like they was already joking around, sad joking, but you
yeah,
knew that there was an acceptance there, which is so good to feel because now you can remember someone in peace, though you still miss them in the sadness part. You can still feel like all right, cool. That was for a reason. That was for a
yeah.
real reason. And and we talking about this, right? And it's like really crazy because it's like as soon as you're talking, I'm like, I know this dude. He's probably thinking I'm about to ask this, but I'm not. Listen, just let me talk, right? But have you ever thought because getting comfortable, you're on your own realm. You are chilling. You got your own mic, you got your stuff, you record, you take certain things out. It doesn't sound right. Maybe it's too much, maybe it's too little. It's, now I feel like anything that comes off your head, you just gonna unapologetically say, I don't got no filter. Right? Because there's a comfortability of just being able to say whatever and almost like a one-way conversation.
Yeah.
But you're releasing songs. There's gonna be people listening. There's probably specific things that you want people to hear. Um, but is there a point, and that's just a rapper mentality. Um, is there ever a point where you finish a song and you say, maybe there's too much in there?
Yeah. Yeah, no, there definitely there was a time where I was recording songs because I felt like nobody was paying attention and I was angry. And again, like I said, people, they come, they tell me a lot of things. I don't tell people's business, but like I don't know, I was in some kind of headspace and I got on a song and I started, popping off. And I went back and listened to the song and I even sent it to my manager at the time and he was like, "Yo, I don't think you should put that one out." And I was
Oof.
like, "Nah, man, they gotta hear this." And he was like, "Nah." He's like, "That's not you. That's not the brand that you have. That's not the brand that you want. It's not gonna be beneficial for you at all. Don't do it." And I was like, "Yeah, but the beat and the like the bars,"
I
he
just
was like,
went
"That's
in,
cool."
right? You was
Yeah, he's
you
like,
was
"That's
like
cool.
you've never
Do it
seen your
again. Just
angry
don't."
self. You
Yeah.
never seen your angry self, uncomposed self sound. It looks so amazing. right? When we're out of it, it's straight out of control. If for some reason it looks beautiful,
Yeah.
and it's not, but
It's really not. It's ugly, but I feel like him telling me, "Hey, you don't need to do that. You can still do the song, but you need to calm down." He's like, "Now that you got it out, how do you feel?" And I was like, "I feel like they need to hear it." He's like, "No, no. How do you feel about the song?" I was like, "Well, I mean, as a song, it's terrible
oh
because
wow,
this ain't something that multiple people are going to want to hear. It's really something that I just needed one or two people to hear
wow,
so they knew." And I was just like, "No, I can't do that. Like, I've never been involved in any serious rap beef that I know
that
of,
dude
unless
had
people
the
just
diss
felt some
track
way." Bro, I
on.
was ready.
You was
I was ready, and I was like, "Nah, this not gonna be beneficial at all." And so like I went back, I reworked the song, I calmed down, I chilled, and like the first verse of the song I actually ended up using in a segment that I did on TV. CW33 down here in DFW, they did a thing with a local radio station called Breakfast Bars, and they brought in some local rappers and they had us rap and they aired it on TV and stuff like that. And I used the verse that I had for Breakfast Bars on the song instead of the other verse that I had. And then I just went through and added in a second half, and I still got on there and kind of talked some noise, but it was more like generalizing people in general, like people with a hamster wheel mindset
yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah,
So, but yeah, no, that was a situation where it was like I did too much, but I needed to get it out, or else it was just gonna kind of fester
yeah.
in there, and it was gonna mess up anything else
It
I
was gonna
got.
let you grow hair like mine. You don't want to do that. You
Hey, I mean, I'm trying to. I'm
don't.
letting it
don't
grow out a little bit.
this is maintenance, bro. I'm done. So it brings me to this thing, and now I'm gonna tell you exactly what made me do more research on you. I saw this EP you did, and it was like I don't know, like 5 collaborations, 3 songs. It was called Voices.
Oof.
I know, right? You're probably like, there ain't no fucking way, right? So listen, I was sitting there and I'm like, all right. So when people are in that mentality that they're listening to something that doesn't really exist, yelling in like somebody's in a cave in your head, and they're just you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of influences that go into, and I'm not trying to be all medical about it, but there's a lot of things that go into somebody hearing voices. And this good evil side, on your shoulders type of
Yeah,
thing is the easiest way to mimic that. But at the same time, like I'm like, yo, a EP with 3 songs, what is that? Right? So I click it and I'm like, oh, okay. Somebody had issues and they wanted to talk about it. I get it.
yeah,
What's up with the Voices EP? Before I introduce only one song, I want people to go stream it. But what's up with this
absolutely.
Voices EP, bro? Wow.
So that one actually kind of came together. That one is more me meshing together like experiences of my own, experiences of other people that were involved in the project, experiences of people who heard the first song and were like, "Hey, is there more to the story? I want to tell you about what happened to me when I went through that," or something similar. So I will say, as any artist, inspiration can come from anywhere. I was fortunate enough for a lot of the inspiration on that to come from people around me who wanted they wanted to get their message out without people knowing that it was them. And I'll never say any of their names or anything of that nature, but when that first song came together, it was it was a year before I did the second one, because that first one was just so heavy that I was just like, I don't know if I can do that second one. But I got around to doing the second one, and I got my girl Cam to sing on that one, and it was really me singing on it. And she was like, "Send it to me without your singing." And then so she went and because I wanted her to do background vocals, and she went in and just added to it, and I was like, "Thank you, I needed
Yeah.
that." And when I did the third one, it was almost like I was forcing myself to finish it because I'm real big on like numbers, like 7, 3, 13, 6, different numbers and stuff. But I was like, I got to have a third one. And I didn't release the third one by itself. You could only hear the third one when you listen to the whole story. But around the time that I was finishing writing the third one and recording it, my dog died. And like literally like the day that I had to take my dog to the vet after she passed, like she died here in the house, and I had to clean that up and take it to the vet and stuff like that. And like I was just in my head, and I was like, I know what can help me. Let me get in the studio. And I had been toying around with this, and I had it written, but I had never gotten around to recording it. And I finally sat down and started recording it, and it took me 4 hours to record it. Not because it was that difficult to record. It was hard for me to get through it because I'm talking about that particular subject matter. I just had this death literally in the house, and I'm just like, man, how am I going to get through this? And I got through it. My engineer went through, and we pieced together all 3 songs, not pieced together, but like we took all 3 songs, made sure it was cohesive. And my dream for that project was always for it to be like a mini movie. And I'm still going to make it happen at some point. I just haven't connected with the right people to do it, because it doesn't have to be me acting it out, because it's not 100% my story. I just want to see it come to life. But when that first one came out, it was some people that was coming to me. They're like, "Yo, you good? Like, are you all right?"
That's what I was saying.
Like, I need to check on
That's
you,
what
man.
I was saying. That's what I was saying. Listen,
Yeah.
JDiggs Tha Prodigy, Voices. I'm gonna play this one song. I want everybody, look, I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I'll leave it in the description in the video later for people. But Voices on QSJ Radio.
Hear voices in my head, they won't stop until I'm dead. Maybe next time I got back, I might just fire. I chased
Heavenly Father, I don't wanna bother you, but life is causing so many problems. Waking up is driving me insane. I'm down in so many bottles. I wanna be healed, but all in my mind I'm screaming, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Don't even bother with your conversations. How you gon' doctor on my spirit when I'm losing patience? Man, this prescription that I'm giving, I
Out
can't
there,
even mess
listening
with.
to the QSJRadio.com. Voices, the EP out, just released last year. This is a very, very 10-minute walk type of thing. If you guys want to do that, just definitely go stream that. Now, I wanted to set this up because there's a lot of music, there's a lot of history, a lot of collaborations, but your introduction to us at QSJ Radio is through this new album, new EP. I don't know, is it an EP album? What was it?
I think. Well, it's 7 songs, so I think that's considered just right over the line of an LP.
Yeah.
But it's a project.
It's a project. Okay, we call it a
It's
project.
the beginning. It's the genesis of what I'm about to be doing.
So this one, Take M to Church. Now I said it like that. It's spelled like that. Take M to Church. Now there's no ignorance there. I feel like there's a deeper meaning to the number 2 being in there, to EM being there. There's an extreme noticeable evolution. You've incorporated more singing, more introspective, more faith-centered material, and more personal storytelling. Was that evolution intentional?
Actually, no. That evolution, it may not have been intentional for me, but it likely was intentional for God, because that kind of evolution started actually, 26? So 2 years ago. Is it? I'm looking up at the plaque. Yeah, 2024. Actually, I can take it all the way back. Like I mentioned earlier, after the studio session with Sammy G, I let my dad hear the song. He immediately asked me, "Hey, you want to do a Christian track?" And I did it. I did one for the youth revival that he was having at the church that summer. And, I did it because my dad asked me for it. Fast forward 2024, early 2024, my aunt Cindy, she does a women's conference. It used to be annual. Now it's every couple of years that she does it because she's always so busy. She was doing a women's conference at the church. the theme was "I'm Still Here." And so she asked me because she wanted to get the whole family involved, and she was like, "Hey, will you do something on the program?" I was like, "Of course. I mean, it's a women's conference, but whatever. I'm an ally. I grew up in a family of nothing but women. I had nothing but sisters and aunts and stuff like that. My dad was the only boy. I was the only boy till my little brother was born 20 years later. So like I get it. And
Yo,
plus
let
I was gonna
me,
be there to run
like,
the
yo,
audio
Jay,
anyway.
Jay,
So
before you go into the whole thing, right? Yo, everybody on social media, if somebody's an ally, like, accept that. You know what I'm saying? You guys are trying to make people like not allies because you haven't gone through it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, relax. I believe in what you believe in. Just just take it. I don't have to do what you have done. And that goes for high profile people in certain communities that have very loud voices. They do not accept people that use that word and term. But I'm here to tell ya, if I'm an ally, I'm an ally. You either tagging me in or you're not. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So,
absolutely.
but anyways, go ahead, my
Yeah.
bad.
So no, you're good. You're good. So she asked me to. She didn't even ask me to do a song. She just asked me to be part of the program. And my knee jerk response was, I'm gonna write a song because I know that I can do that. That's probably the easiest way that I can be involved in the program. So I'm gonna do that. So I reached out to my buddy Jay Smooth on the beat. I told him what I was looking to do, and he came back with the beat. I told him, I was like, hey, I don't want it to be too long, but I need it to sound good. It's gonna play in a church, so it's gotta be loud. It's gotta bring that vibe and things like that. So a couple weeks later, we got "I'm Still Here." And so I play it for my aunt. And the funny thing is I sent it to her on her phone. And anybody who knows my aunt Cindy knows that if she's not at home, she's at church. So I sent it to her thinking she was at home. She was at church. So she's playing it on her phone. And unbeknownst to me, she's in a room at a church with Ty Tribbett. And I'm like,
Wow.
whoa. And she was like, I just let Ty Tribbett hear your song. I was like, no, you didn't. But knowing who she is, I was like, there's she might have. And she was like, no, like for real. And like the next morning she sent me the pictures and everything like that. And she was like, he loved it. He said, you going somewhere, you got great things coming, just keep working. I was like, that's awesome. That's another one of those gospel goats. Like, that's dope. And I didn't do anything else with it. Like, I mean, I say I didn't do anything else with it. That was my first song to actually chart. It reached number 20 on the iTunes Christian charts. I did get a plaque for that one, even though my plaque says 23. I didn't realize it hit 20. That's my bad. But so it
Shout out to
peaked,
that. Shout out
and
to the
there was
23.
always 23. There was always a song that I wanted to do called "Father Forgive Me." Because if anybody knows anything about different stories in the Bible, there's the story of the prodigal son. I have lived that story through many aspects of my life. When I was a kid, I was tired of doing what my dad wanted me to do in the house. So I was like, I'm going to move out. Like literally the first time I moved out of my dad's house, I didn't even tell him I was moving. He came home one day. I had a U-Haul in the driveway, and me and my buddies were moving my stuff out of the room so we could move off to go to school and whatnot. And I left the wrong way, and I had to humble myself, and I had to come back and ask for forgiveness because I had to move back in with my dad after that lease was up because everything crumbled. Nothing. I lost my job. I ended up losing all the furniture and most of the furniture and stuff that I had. Like, it just went downhill, and so I had to start over, and I had to do things the right way. And then another aspect of life, I stopped going to church because I had gone to so much church as a kid. I was just like, when I become an adult and I'm driving and yada yada, I'm not going to
No.
church. I'm not doing it. Not because the church did anything wrong. I was just tired of being at church all day, every other day. Like, it was too much. And then a couple years ago, 2023-ish, my aunt invited us to the church, my dad's church of all churches. So like, why wouldn't I go? Because it was Women's Day, and I'm sitting there in the church, and I don't like the way it sounds. Like, the church had a whole sound system, but during COVID, the church got struck by lightning. It blew out all the audio stuff, and so they were kind of piecemealing stuff back together. And me being in music and loving the way things sound, I hated the way the service sounds. So I told my dad, I was like, hey, I want to redo the sound system in the church so y'all don't sound like that anymore.
Oh,
So started
wow.
piecing it
So
back
you
together, blah, blah,
got in
blah.
your engineering mode there. There you
Exactly.
go.
And it brought me back into the church. But in doing that and trying to make sure everything sounded right, I had to consistently go to church. So I'm consistently going to church, getting this whole thing rebuilt, yada, yada. Christmas 2023, or around Christmas time, somebody broke into the church and tried to steal, and they stole a good chunk of it, but they tried to steal all our audio equipment, all the stuff that we had just re-put together. They damaged a bunch of stuff.
The
It was
Lord's
terrible.
mic. What the?
Yes,
Oh
it's
my
crazy.
God.
Like,
What?
and
They
now
stole the
granted,
Lord's mic, bro.
bro,
What?
it was, I had DJs and other audio engineers who had sold us some stuff for like great prices. It was, the stuff worked perfectly. They were selling it to me like they stole it, and it ended up getting stolen. And I was just like, oh,
Wow.
come on. Like, we just went through all of this to rebuild the sound system and whatnot. And my dad was just like, you know what? Clearly somebody needed it more than we did, blah, blah, blah. Word got out. A couple other churches donated some stuff to us so we could get back up and going and whatnot. And then through all of this, I ended up meeting the JMG band. That's the band that I perform with. The bass guitar player, he's an audio engineer, but not just an audio engineer. He has a company where they actually set up the audio visual for churches and other venues and stuff like that. So I was able to get him out, help us get the church situated and whatnot. And we were able to get that done. During this whole process, I'm still working on music, but like in the background of the music that I was working on and putting out and the shows that I was doing and the new performances I'm doing, I'm writing this Take 'Em to Church EP, but it didn't have a title. The original working title for this EP was Crown Me King, which there's a track on there called Crown Me King.
Yeah.
So if anybody watching this knows, or you're soon to learn, I did a trilogy of projects called Uncrowned King. This project was going to be the coronation of that, even though the last one was called the coronation. This is me finally getting my crown me king. But I was working with my designer, my buddy Tag, and I was just like, I sent him the songs, because how we work together is if I have any songs for the album or the EP done, I send them to him and give him creative control over what it's going to look like. And he just turns the music on and lets it play, and he creates. And if he sends me something back that I don't like, which is extremely rare, we workshop it back and forth, and then we go back to the drawing board.
Nice.
And when I went to send him the email, I put as the subject, Take 'Em to Church. Like, let's take 'em to church. And he was like, yo, that's got to be the title. I was like, no, it's Crown Me King. He's like, no. That's got to be the title. I was like, okay, take them to church. He's like, no. You got to make the title exactly how you put it in the email, which is the Take EM, the number 2 church. Because I was typing on my phone when I sent it to him. So, you like the T9 text, you shorthand everything and stuff like that. So that's why it was Take to a Church. And so it stuck because it helped to signify the transition from, like, out in the world and then just in hip hop and stuff like that. We abbreviate stuff for no reason. We shorten even my name, JDiggs Tha Prodigy, THA.
Definitely not.
It's not proper or whatnot. So like it happens. So that me doing the title of the project that way was just kind of like an extra little kind of Easter egg to, hey, here's where I was, here's where I'm going. And all of this came together from me getting back into church and things like that. So when putting the project together, doing the rollout, the release concert, like it all lined up. It released on my birthday, which was a Wednesday. Most people go to Bible study on Wednesdays. So I did a concert on my birthday at the church, and I brought people to church for the release of the project. So it did what it needed to do. My distributor originally messed up. Really, it was me messing up and I wasn't paying attention. But when I originally distributed it, it was Take Them to Church.
Wow.
And then I went back and I pulled the project down and I re-uploaded it.
Damn.
I fixed the audio. I fixed the title. And I'm like, man, I'm pretty much starting over. And now, granted, this was a month and a half after I released it.
So you took your numbers.
Put it back up.
Yeah.
All my numbers came back.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
All my playlist placements came back. And while I was out of town recently, I was in Nashville, and I was obviously still promoting while I was in Nashville. I'm in the music capital of the U.S., so like still promoting and
Love
stuff
that
like
place.
that.
Love that
The
place.
album recharted. Like it charted when it released. It was number 37 on iTunes. It recharted and ended up number 39 on iTunes. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Like I tried to make the transition from fixing the stuff that I messed up in my haste to get it out. I tried to make sure that I did everything right the second time and fix it. And then things just came back better. Songs that I didn't anticipate people to really care about have now taken on a life of their own. It recharted. Like
It is
and people are
insane.
buying it.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. Like I sold out of CDs. I did a run of 50 CDs, sold them all. Every single one of them. I just ordered another pack of 100 CDs because the 50 went back too quickly. I got vinyls. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got the one and only vinyl copy of the project right here. But it is available on my website. You can go and order your own. But these vinyls are not cheap, so I don't keep those in stock.
Definitely not, right?
People are like,
until
man,
we get a meet and greet, right?
Yeah, when the meet and greets, when I start hitting the road and stuff like that, I've already got the order set up to order like 100, 200 of them. But like 100 quality vinyls is like just over $1,000.
What I'm going to do here is not only has this been like a production in the studio,
Yeah.
the Take 'Em to Church sent to me has a video out.
Mhm.
You know, people could watch that. We're probably going to watch some of it right now for people to check it out. All right. There's a comedy scene in the beginning. Super hilarious. Shout out to the people who did that. And basically the push. This also showed people like me that there is an investment to this, and it just doesn't involve money. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of social media alerts that people are gonna get. You know, it's just gonna be a ongoing thing here. Take 'Em to Church. Really lovely song. We're gonna introduce the video song right now, and then try to get back to this interview because again, we'll do a part 2. But
absolutely.
But we definitely cannot be here right now for. We do for everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is JDiggs Tha Prodigy. Take 'Em to Church on QSJRadio.com.
Present in the church, if redemption had a sound, it's gonna echo through this verse. Prodigy preaching, put the devil in the dirt and take him to church. Light up the pews, turn every sinner into something God can use. Ain't talking steeples, I'm talking souls. The kind that rise up when the bell tolls. Take him to church, not the four-wall kind. The one inside your chest where the spirit resides. We don't just preach it, we live that word.
You guys can check that video out on YouTube right now. We just talking in the back. And I was reading one of the comments is Cali Girl on Twitch. She goes, I said the same thing as well. I couldn't wait to stop going to Bible study when I got older. And then you went into that thing where you was like, that it was a lot, but as a kid, you just didn't want to do that all day, right? So, you know, take us through that journey real quick.
Like, so I mean, everybody knows if you got kids, everybody was a kid. Like during Monday through Thursday, it's a school night. You got to be in bed by a certain time. You got to like start winding down and stuff like that. You can't go nowhere. Friday, you get to kind of do stuff. But like, if you grew up in the church, sometimes you had stuff going on Saturday, so that took your Friday night away because you had to get up early for Saturday. Definitely got to be up early for church on. You got to be up early for church on Sunday, and then it's like there was one church that we went to. I met some great people at this church. I still know the pastor very well, but when they moved into a new building, they literally did 7 services in one Sunday. Yeah, and I was like, my dad was like, no, we we not doing this. And my dad is real big on not having what we like to call marathon church. So like we just had our church anniversary this past Sunday. We had one service. It was 10:15 service,
And
like
it's
we
an
always
anniversary.
have.
I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
one service. He was like,
Congrats.
and it wasn't even a traditional service. We had brunch. It was a brunch service. We had food. People got to talk about like the impact the church has had on their lives over the last 21 years or however long they've been part of the church. Some awards were given out, recognition. We was out of there by 12:30.
Yo. Yeah. Y'all was good. Y'all was fed.
Yeah,
and
we
the,
was
and the
fed.
Lord was
We
with you.
good.
Boom.
We got out early enough to go catch some more food because it was, it was light bites. You don't want to have like a full meal in the church, but yeah, no, we good. And like I said before, I've been redoing the AV in the church. And this past Sunday after church was out, I tested out streaming like TV and stuff through the screens in the church that we just got back up and running. And my dad was just like, "So you saying I can come down here during the week and watch TV?" I was like, "Yeah,
Oh, did I lose you?
watch TV."
Oh, I didn't lose you. I thought I lost you for a
But
second.
oh,
But yeah,
don't
shout out to
don't
you.
get lost.
No, not yet. Not yet. Let's go, guys. Big shout out to everybody listening. Tune in to QSJRadio.com. Take Them to Church EP project, whatever you want to call it, is out right now. 2 songs have been released from them too as singles. Born Winter and I believe something else. We just spoke about it.
Yeah, Born Winter was another song that came out. It's not part of the EP.
Oh, okay.
It's not part of the
It's
Take Them to
something
Church,
new.
but
Yeah.
it was something new. Shout out to the homie Daniel Johnson, Slim Johnson. He produced that track for me. And then yesterday, for those of you who don't know, Fort Worth's area code is 817. Yesterday was August 17th, so it was Fort Worth Day. So I dropped a song with a Fort Worth legend, Twisted Black. The song is called "If I Die."
With y'all Texans? Yeah.
Hey, we represent.
Oh,
When I'm
my-
not in Texas, I'm all about Texas. When
Oh
I'm here
my
in Texas, I'm
God.
all about Fort Worth. So,
listen,
hey,
I'm a Giant fan, so sensitivity there.
oh, we'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
In a couple of weeks, bro.
In a couple of weeks, man. I'll make sure I shoot you a
frenemies
message.
during the season, bro. I'm not.
Yeah.
So see, that's another thing, right? So for those who don't know what we're talking about, you'll figure it out. All right, we're not gonna go straight to direct because
Nah.
it's very important to know people just don't do music. They just don't go to church. That's not the only thing they do. When it comes to JDiggs Tha Prodigy, what does a regular JDiggs day look like?
Shoot, a regular day for JDiggs Tha Prodigy is like I get up in the morning. It depends, I guess, what day of the week, what time of the year it is. Like during the school year, obviously get up, get the kids ready, get them off to school. I head to work, get through my work day, come home, do what I got to do. Usually I'm up late, either like working in the studio or just watching TV. I'm always strategizing something. Like I'm constantly, like my phone is always, there's always a charger near me because I'm always on my phone working, strategizing something, trying to figure out how to be better tomorrow than I was today and yesterday and whatnot. So it's just, it's a lot going on. I have a career outside of the music that has opened up more doors for me in the music, and it's taught me ways of marketing the music and positioning the music to be able to do different things. Over the last couple of years, I've changed my focus with the music to not only change the subject matter and whatnot and reach new audiences, but also to be able to like license my music for use in movies, games, TV shows, etc.
That takes
Shout
a lot.
out to
That takes
yeah,
a
it
lot because a lot of people don't know letting your song go is, frowned upon in certain situations, but you gotta let it do it.
It's
You gotta let it
definitely
do
a
its
lot
thing.
because I never was one to just sign my music over to somebody else. Like I wrote it, I rapped it, I paid for the studio time and da da da. What you mean you want me to give you 50% ownership of it? Like the producers got his 50%, but now you want to take half of his half and half of
Yeah.
what I got left?
You gotta
Like,
let it
come
go.
on.
You gotta let it go.
But when you watching movies and you hear your voice in the movie It's different.
That's
When you're watching a commercial and your voice pops up, when you get that email saying, "Hey, we need you to sign for this wire transfer because so and so wants to put your song in their game,"
yeah,
it hits different.
yeah.
And shout out to my boy Eclipse Darkness. He is the king of sync placements. He's got to be pushing somewhere around like 20,000 sync placements over the years that he's been
That's
doing
dope.
it.
That's dope.
And he has afforded me opportunity to be involved in some projects. I don't want to speak out of turn on something we just completed
Yeah.
last night.
Don't
Like
do
I
that.
sent him
Don't do
a
that.
track last night.
You know what's
I was
crazy?
up till 1 o'clock.
I was about to get into like this situation because our audience basically is unsigned artists. Some of them are struggling to figure this out, want to give it up. Creative process is too much. They're doom scrolling instead of, you know what I mean? And they become trolls of the internet because they're basically hating everything that everybody's doing. You know, every creative person, they have that moment when they're like, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. What you've actually talked publicly and in this interview a few times, I caught it, about reaching points that you were like, I'm quitting. I'm done.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Next album? That was it.
Yep.
All right. What's the difference between I'm tired and I'm actually done for JDiggs?
For me, as many times as I've said I'm done and I've never actually stopped, I can't really tell you what I'm done feels like because I haven't gotten to that point. But I'm tired. I'm tired was nobody's listening. I'm getting 5-10 views off of a music video that I just spent $1,000 to get made. So I'm not getting no return on that investment. I just spent thousands of dollars in the studio and on equipment and on features and production and engineering and stuff to put this project out. And there's only 10,000 streams on an entire 13-track project. That's less than 1,000 streams per song. That means somebody ain't listening to the whole thing. Yeah, like I'm not making no money off of it. And every time I would hit that wall, I'd have to find something else to pull me through it because the music was in me. I could say I'm done putting out albums and I'd still be in my studio recording stuff. I'm still sending sessions to my engineer, Chico, to get stuff done. Like, shout out to Chico Santiago over at Music and Focus. Like he'll even send me something back and be like, hey, I mixed everything else, but I need you to go redo these parts. Send it back to me so I can mix it in. And then like
that's demoralizing. Because you feel like you're done. Yeah, I mean,
but I appreciate that. Though. Like I've never been offended by him saying that because he mixes and masters and records thousands of artists. It's always artists in and out of there. So if he tells me this sounds good or this sounds bad, I'm gonna trust him because he's professional.
Yeah.
And he's not an engineer that's trying to be an artist himself. Like
like the reaction people online. Shout out to you. Shout out to
people. Bro, people be like,
yo, I be beefing with everybody on the
I
low.
can rap better than that.
Nah.
I can rap better than that. No, you can't. Because if you could, you would. So, but no, it comes down to you will get tired in doing this music. Anybody that's watching this, listening live or recorded or whatever, you are gonna get tired of doing this. But if it's really something that you love, you will never truly be done. Like, I can't think of an artist out there that has ever reached the highest peaks of music and come back down to whatever level and just like even T.I., he just said he put out his last album. It might be his last album. That don't mean he's done making music.
Yeah. He probably got
He's still gonna be
wait till he gets to the grandpa
he gonna be doing
phase.
features.
He gets to that grandpa phase, he gonna be like, okay, I know why Snoop did that.
Snoop became Snoop Lion. He started doing
he's good
reggae music. He did G-funk music.
He a grandpa. He's doing he's doing everything. So it's not even
football, like all of that stuff. So like, there's nothing wrong with being tired. And I was telling someone the other day, there was times where I felt like I ain't had nothing to say. And it's like when you feel like you have nothing to say, that's when you need to go back and revisit everything that you've already said. And
Bro,
I
feel like me and JDiggs will probably be here for like hours. Forget we had to eat. But
Facts. That's why I've been sipping the water to
yeah.
curb the appetite.
So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna give like a few basically closing questions, right?
All right.
Because we've touched a lot here. Kids, church, parenting, the amount of introvert, high class performer introvert. Shout out to you. There's got to be a word for that. We've just a lot. Take Me to Church is out right now, available. So many other songs available. I just feel like you're just out there just giving music out to the point where you have realized I gotta touch 500 people in order to get one. And I appreciate that you're doing that, and this stuff is like high quality. You go back and revisit, you see what's going down. I think the only time you talked about was this current project that you had to take it down real quick, and then it did its numbers again. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Yes.
for me, that was a testament to really showing me that people are listening.
Yeah.
Because like for it to come down and then go back up and still do the numbers that it did, that's just a testament to that. There was a couple years back when I was switching distributors that I had to pull down some of my music, but some of it was still up. Shout out to CD Baby for never taking my stuff down.
Shout out to CD Baby.
And that sent people back to my older music. And I started making money off the old music because that's all people could hear for like a month or two. And then when I started re-releasing stuff, like, yes, as an artist, I do want to make money off my music because the money that I make off the music goes right back into the music. And the way that the money is coming in now, like y'all clearly really want me to continue making music because I'm just turning around and, oh, hey, I just got this check from CD Baby. Cool. I'm gonna send that to this producer. Oh, hey, I just got 3 songs done from Chico. I know I'm finna have to pay him for the mix and master. Let me go withdraw some funds from DistroKid. Like I've got it's out there, people. And then this year I've really been toying around with direct to consumer. So I got my Bandcamp up going. Like I was mentioning earlier, I'm selling the CDs, the vinyls and stuff like that. That money comes straight back to me because I'm investing in it. And I've been working with DJ Tellum and Big Sleep to, get myself out there more because I am guilty, and any artist listening to this, you're gonna feel seen right now. I am guilty of putting a project out, talking about it for a week or two, and then moving on.
Yeah.
They won't let me do that with this project.
Oh, that's so dope.
They won't let me do that with this
and
project.
That's the good and the bad part about an introvert, right? The good and bad part. So the good part is you know when you need a break. Okay.
Yep.
The bad part is you don't need a break. So it's just like but you're setting your boundaries. They know they've gotten to know who you are and are able to deal with it and be like, all right, bro, relax, go have a bagel and come back. Right?
Yep.
I got a few comments here that I want to get into because I know we going way off time. I got a guy here. His name is Grandpa. I kind of play his songs here. He's like, yo, I'm new. I putting my songs out, and I play guitar for like 40 years, but the music is in my soul, crying out to get out. So amen, brother, for you. And hopefully one day I'll be there too, where he's mentally ready for that. I've released my first Christian rock single. The release today is called The Mark or The Cross, and have more to come. True, Grandpa, thank you so much for that. You know what I mean? We'll probably take a listen to that later on and things like that. I got a human question for you, though. If someone followed you around, completely ordinary day, no cameras, no stage, no music business, what would probably surprise them about you?
That I'm probably not going anywhere. They would be like, man, you don't have nothing going on? Nope.
Bruh.
Nope. Like I literally said in a song last night that I was recording, sometimes the best thing about going out is getting out of it.
Wow.
When people say, "Yo, we're going to do such and such this weekend," I'll be like, "All right, yeah, cool." And then if they hit me up on Thursday talking about, "Hey, we got to reschedule," I'm be like, "Oh man," but really, I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yes."
You one
That's
of
just
those.
that's some time I got back to myself. I can recharge from the week, and and then if something else pops up, I'm ready for it. But
Now,
yeah, no, for me, it's they're gonna be
yeah,
real surprised to see that I ain't doing nothing.
nothing. Big shout out to everybody listening, tuning in to QSJ Radio. Somebody said in the chat, they were like, "That's the best feeling. The best feeling
Oh yeah.
to have things cancel on you." So I know that we got a lot, and you definitely have a lot of stuff to talk about, and we are more than happy to have you on back again.
Absolutely.
Definitely want to make sure we get all that out. But for people now that's listening, where does this go? You've gone from being the guy who once wondered where he could really make it on his own to building a catalog, developing a live band performance identity, continuing to release music years into the journey. What does the next version of JDiggs look like? Are you thinking more bigger stages, international audiences? We talked about film and TV already, and I definitely know that you collaborate a lot. But what does this next version of JDiggs look like?
It looks like everything that you just said. Like I'm currently in the process of putting together a band. I have a band that I perform with, but I'm trying to put together like I want to have multiple bands that I can perform with, but I'm trying to put together like I've got two singers. I need to find a male singer. The crazy thing is I put out there that I was looking for singers, and nobody hit me. Like I even put out that it was a paid opportunity. Nobody hit me up. When I posted it again and didn't mention
They
paying,
retired.
suddenly
They
everybody
reti-
was like, yeah, I'll do it. How much does it pay? It was like, well, I mean, I'm still paying, but
Wow.
where were you when I said it was paid situation? But yeah, no, I want to, because again, I want to keep live music alive because that's where I feel most alive. So having the band, JMG House Band, they perform with me whenever I can, but I need alternates in case I have to go out on tour and they can't make it. I know I've got plenty of people. I'll throw two drummers and two of everything up on the stage if I have to. It'll be Noah's Ark on that stage with band instruments. But like I want to do international. I just had somebody comment on one of my posts about going to the UK. I'm with it. My passport is good. I can
He's
travel
like,
where
my
I need to
passport is
go.
good. He's
Passport
like,
is good.
they gonna let me back in.
Oh yeah, they'll let me back in. I'm just trying
You
to like
sure
I'm
about
trying to
that, bro?
travel for leisure and for business.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out that way. I'm actually trying to get out that way to Virginia next year because the homie Aaron Cole just did the Two Up Two Down
Oh,
festival.
yeah.
So I'm
I'm
trying to get
here.
out there
I'm
for
here.
that.
I'm here. Is
I'm
one of my boys is trying to take me out of the house. He already knows, and as soon as I feel comfortable, let me know. You know?
Absolutely. If I can get my way up there, whether it be to perform for the festival or just to attend it, I'm trying to get up there. I couldn't do it this year because I had stuff going on in June, the release of my project and stuff like that. But absolutely, I got to get up there for that. I got to get out to the West Coast so I can link up with the other J Diggs so people can see I'm not trying to steal his life.
Yeah.
He don't care about me. Like, so it's just, I just want to keep living life. Like I got so much more life to live and so much more to offer and give. And like I said, there's so many things that I want to do that I haven't done yet. So that means I got to keep going. And what that looks like I've put up Take Him to Church for Grammy consideration this year.
Nice.
So praying that gets into the right hands, and if I can get a nomination, nobody will be able to tell me anything because I'm Grammy nominated artist.
Yeah.
JDiggs Tha
Let's
Prodigy
go.
is where
Let's
I'm trying to get. Don't let me win it. Please don't let me win it because I'm gonna
know.
do a whole tour and I'm just gonna come out and put the Grammy on the stool and let y'all stare at it for an hour.
This ain't gonna be our last question, but for the last question of this episode between us, you spent so many years putting pieces of your life into songs. Someday, someone may discover your catalog without knowing anything about the man who made it. When they finish listening, What do you hope they understand about JDiggs Tha Prodigy, the person, not just JDiggs Tha Prodigy, the artist?
I hope that they understand that I'm human, just like they are. I feel like people treat artists, celebrities, whatever you public figures, whatever you call it, they always kind of put them up on a pedestal, or they see them as a target, depending on if they're loved or hated by the masses. But I want people to listen through my catalog of music and understand that, like, pay attention to the year that it was released and understand that that's got something to do with what was going on in my life at that time. And if you follow the years, follow the catalog, you pretty much will be following my life. And every now and then I'll release something that'll take you back. Like, I released a song on Mother's Day that took me back to when I was a kid and pretty much told the whole story of the situation with my mom. Loved that. People loved it. I literally had somebody call me when they heard it and was like, yo, I'm in literal tears right now. And it's sometimes I just got to put out those personal tracks, but I want people to know me, not just JDiggs Tha Prodigy. Like, I want them to know Jordan Diggs. Like, when you hear me on these projects, yes, I'm the rapper JDiggs Tha Prodigy, but Jordan Diggs wrote the song. So understand, you're getting me, you're getting my lived experiences, or you're getting the experiences that I've had people come to me and say, hey, can you tell this story for me? I want to hear what it would sound like from someone else's perspective. Or if I tell you these details, can you turn it into a song? I'll do that. If y'all want me to write a song for you, you don't have to go to Suno. I know it's great. I've used it personally to hear what some of my songs might sound like by somebody else, but I can write the song. I can perform the song for you, whatnot. Don't fear AI. Don't fear it. It's a tool. It's not going to replace you. But if you listen to my music, just know that you're hearing me. You're hearing what's coming from not even the heart, the soul. You got to go deeper than that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to touch the soul with it. It's not just the mind. It's not just the heart. It's the soul. So you're getting unapologetically JDiggs, Jordan Diggs, all of the above, and everything I do.
Shout out to Jordan Diggs.
Yes,
JDiggs Tha Prodigy. Today we went far beyond simply talking about music. We talked about you, where your story began, church, family, first person who helped you stepped into the studio, Sammy. We talked about loss, confidence, independence, and the transition from being a quiet kid who wasn't sure where he belonged as an artist to now use his music to tell stories about faith, struggle, growth, and purpose. And we talked about the evolution of that music from 4700 and the experience that came with it. I didn't talk about it too much, but there's an album out there, Care Package, and now into Take 'Em to Church. But perhaps the biggest theme running around of it is something that has been present in your stories for years. You don't always know what you're building while you're building it. Sometimes you just keep making the next song. You keep performing. You keep learning. You keep showing up. And eventually you look back and you realize you built a body of work and hopefully a life that says something. JDiggs Tha Prodigy, thank you for spending time with us on QSJ Radio, allowing us to dig a little deeper into the story behind the music. It's been a pleasure, bro.
Hey, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you for sharing your platform with me. I appreciate you taking the time to really learn something about me so that you could get in here and learn some more about me. Digging up the underground is only scratching the surface of what you do and what you've done. I look forward to coming back. I look forward to us being able to chop it up even more outside of just the radio interviews and whatnot. Look, I'm here. If you need me, holla at me, man.
Yeah, and just to let people understand something, I don't think I really said this out loud, but I do appreciate you guys, you specifically, for understanding. Damn, I hit this dude up. It was good. Everything's good. Everything's like and then he hit me up with the saddest news that somebody could, because it almost sounds like, because if you probably dealt with people a lot, that somebody's already given you an excuse, right?
Yeah.
About something is about to go down. But I appreciate you for believing That's one. And two, for whole being my soundtrack through this. Because believe it or not, this is what I had to do. There was this next thing I had to do while going through this grief. And your music does do that. It does help. It does show. It does create a story, a setting for someone to get out of their whatever character they're in right there, to just realize it's just a moment. Don't get too deep into it. Take them to church, bro. Take them to church, bro.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. We will definitely talk soon, okay?
All right, you take care. Y'all stay blessed. I remember when I was trying to find purpose, chasing validation in all the wrong circles. But grace don't skip the broken. Nah. It specializes in it. Yep. So if you came in hurt, confused, or doubt, you in the right place tonight. Let's take him to church. Let's go.
Take 'em to church.
Take him to church, light up the pews, turn every sinner into something God can use. Ain't talking steeples, I'm talking souls.